Thanks, Anna. The headlines in the southeast today. Junior doctors walk out across the region as we're warned to use our health services wisely. We're live outside the Royal Sussex Hospital in Brighton this lunchtime. As politicians continue to fight for your vote, we speak to people in Dover about the issues that matter most to them.
Price has gone up and the wages people are getting paid ain't really changed. So, yeah, it's just hard. It's hard for everyone, really.
And it's another sunny, warm and dry day today, turning fresher though. I'll have the details later in the programme.
Hello, welcome to the programme. I'm Ellie Crisell. First this lunchtime, health leaders across the southeast are warning of delays and cancellations to services as junior doctors stage a 5-day strike in their long-running pay dispute. The industrial action began this morning at 7 and will end on Tuesday morning. In the meantime, we're being urged to carefully consider what services we use. NHS England says many are expected to come under significant pressure. Well, our health correspondent Mark Norman is live outside the Royal Sussex Hospital in Brighton for us this lunchtime. Hello, Mark. Just talk us through what's happening and how this is likely to affect patients right here in the southeast.
Well, Ellie, this is about pay and conditions. Junior doctors want a 35% pay rise, spread over a few years because they believe their pay has been eroded over the last decade or so. And they believe that unless you put pay and conditions, unless you get that right, you're going to struggle to recruit and retain the very best doctors. For us, the public, of course, another strike means another round, as you said, of postponed operations and postponed outpatient appointments, and a warning that A&Es are going to be extremely busy. Speaking to doctors on the picket line this morning, I sense a lot of frustration because they're out on that picket line for the 11th time.
None of us want to have to be out here. Unfortunately, we haven't had the progress that we would like to have had from the government. We haven't had a reasonable offer. We haven't had an offer put to us at all. It's very frustrating to not been able to have that kind of reasonable offer to end this dispute, which is what we would all like to see.
So a reminder that this strike goes on until 7 a.m. on Tuesday. Once again, we're being told to use services wisely. As I said earlier, expect A&E. If you have to use it, it will be very busy. Try and find an alternative if you can. The advice, if you do have an operation or an outpatient appointment and you haven't heard from your hospital, do turn up. It may well still be taking place. But of course, this is going to be the top of the in tray for any incoming government next Friday. They're going to have to sort this strike out before they manage to sort out all the other problems in the NHS, Ellie.
Indeed, Mark, thank you very much. A couple who fraudulently claimed more than £700,000 in benefits have been jailed for 4 years. Wojciech Kowalski and Victoria Pakowska created false bank accounts, identity documents and utility bills to make claims over a 3-year period. They were arrested when they attempted to leave the UK through the Channel Tunnel with £62,000 in cash. Some staff on GTR trains are to wear body-worn cameras as part of a crackdown on antisocial behaviour. The company, which runs Southern, Gatwick Express and Thameslink trains, says it's investing £2.5 million to help tackle abuse and disorder. Its staff have reported a 23% increase in verbal assaults and almost a 10% increase in physical assaults over the past year.
As we're out and about, we see all sorts of antisocial behaviour. It could be anything as simple as people putting feet on seats. One of the newest ones we come across quite a lot now is vaping on the stations and on trains. Rowdy behaviour, shouting abusive language towards customers, staff. The list goes on.
We're absolutely hoping to stamp out antisocial behaviour on our network. The risk of not doing this means that our people will be further impacted and our customers won't enjoy travelling on our network. And it's vital that everybody feels safe working and travelling on our network.
Now, if you hadn't realised, there's exactly 1 week to go until the general election on July the 4th. And as polling day fast approaches, we want to hear all about the issues that you really care about. Well, our political editor Charlotte Rice has been out and about in Dover to find out what matters most to people as they prepare to cast their vote.
It's the gateway to Britain. So often at the centre of the story, whether it's the arrival of small boats or delays at the port. But while there is much talk about this town, we've come to hear from those who live, work and play here. At this boxing gym, the cost of living is having a big impact.
The price has gone up, and the wages people are getting paid ain't really changed. So yeah, it's just hard. It's hard for everyone really. Housing is an issue, you know. I think people are really struggling.
Do you notice people come here? Do they talk to you about it as well? Is it like quite a big issue?
Most of the kids can't afford it and stuff like that because of everything that's going on. But most of the time, we're a charitable-based boxing club. I do let quite a lot of the kids come for free if they can't afford it, because I'd rather them be here than sat on the computer.
But when it comes to what those running for office can do to help, we find a strong sense of disillusionment.
I used to really be into politics, but since COVID, I completely shut off from it. They tell you what you want to hear, and then when they get in, they do what they're going to do anyway. But I just feel like they're so disconnected from like the working people.
A major source of employment in the town is the port, but it brings its challenges too. Any delays at border controls, and there are queues for miles, causing traffic gridlock in the area, leaving businesses like this mobility shop immobile. They say politicians need to find a better solution.
We've had occasions where we can't even get to work ourselves, so we cannot open. And if we can get here and we do open, we sit all day, just no custom, because outside is completely gridlocked. We've had customers phone us up who've had issues and, you know, got a puncture or, you know, their batteries have failed and they need our help and we can't get to them.
In a town where most of the small boat arrivals are processed, it's perhaps not surprising that it's a topic of conversation at the Working Men's Club.
The one that pops to mind mostly is immigration, to be honest with you. The amount that's turning up on our beaches. A lot of people disagree, but they get a lot of handouts when they do get here. And I myself have been through hard times and I struggle to get anything. And it kind of frustrates me that, you know, that people can come over here and they get help handed to them on a plate.
But not everyone here agrees.
I think a lot of people have got the wrong idea of what's going on with these immigrants. These people didn't ask to be born in the country that they were born in. They didn't ask to be in Afghanistan, where girls and women haven't got any kind of life. I've got every sympathy for that kind of person.
What people think in this constituency does matter to politicians, as for years how they vote here has reflected the national result. So next week, all eyes will be on Dover as a key election battleground. Charlotte Wright, BBC South East Today, Dover.
Indeed, and tonight we're going to have a special programme live from Dover as we find out more about what's going to influence your vote. And we'll continue to tell your stories on BBC Radio, TV and online in our Your Voice, Your Vote series in the run-up to polling day. Find out more through that QR code you can see there on your screen now, or you can always, of course, go to the BBC website, bbc.co.uk/Kent, Sussex or Surrey. Now, after a balmy few days, it's all going horribly wrong. First of all, where's this beautiful place behind you?
I know it's in Kent. Can you believe it?
It's so
I mean,
pretty.
It's a bit more like Greece, isn't
Yeah,
it? But it is all changed.
Oh, no.
I know, it never stays sunny for forever, does it? For the rest of today, though, we're holding on to that sunshine. Once again, it's going to be feeling warm, but we have got a change in the air. Now, of course, earlier in the week, we were seeing highs of 29 degrees. For today, those temperatures once again around average. We've got a weakening cold front that's going to be heading our way, but it isn't bringing much in terms of rain, maybe some spits and spots. That band of cloud then is the cold front, and behind it, we've got some fresher air. This then the scene as we head through the afternoon. As you can tell, we're mostly staying dry. That cloud cover perhaps turning the sunshine hazy, a little bit breezy along the coast. Temperatures there once again in the teens, highs there 18 or 19 degrees. Further inland, reaching highs of around 23 or 24 degrees. Now, have you found the last few nights uncomfortable for sleeping? Good news through tonight. We've lost that hot and humid air. So once again, overnight temperatures dropping to single figures. We've got lows of around 8 or 9 degrees. Clearer skies then as we start the day for Friday, and once again lots of sunshine, and although those temperatures much cooler than they were earlier in the week, actually around average and feeling pretty decent for the time of year. Highs again 22, 23 degrees. Of course, it's fresher as we look towards the weekend. We've got sunshine for Saturday, the risk of some scattered showers for Sunday. Into the new week, temperatures once again around average, highs by Monday once again of around 21. Before that, sunshine through today.
That's not too bad. We'll
Not too
take
bad.
that. Thank you, Rachel. That's it. Now back to Anna with the rest of the news.